Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Um, I just want to spend a few minutes taking a break from the spiritual awakening conversation to come down a little bit to the three-dimensional societal world that we live in. In previous videos, I've discussed how I'm a darker chocolate tone woman who come from an international country and had to adjust to the perception of women who look like myself, and also I had to adjust to the treatment of women who look like myself, and the narrative that's played in the back of your mind based on these two things. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been having some thoughts mixed with experiences that kind of brought about a larger understanding of what's really going on around me, and maybe ways that I can help women like myself deal with what we have to deal with in society. So I'll get started. To begin, regardless if you're spiritual or not, I think there is something that goes in with dealing with your race and your society. There's there's a relationship there that doesn't mesh well together, if you can say that. For me, my focus in this recording will be regarding being a dark hued chocolate tone woman in America, right? I'll give you a brief story. I came from my home country in 1989. I was 6 years old, and I can promise you, prior to maybe the first 3 years of being in America, I honestly never knew I was a black girl. Like, I never knew that. That wasn't something that was taught where I came from. I was a girl. I was my mom's daughter, my father's daughter, my aunt's niece, my uncle's niece. My cousins knew me as their cousin. Like, I wasn't a race. Like, I didn't identify myself with a physical race. It wasn't until the third grade that paying attention to the classrooms and my classmates around me, I started noticing how it didn't matter the hue of the African American teachers or black teachers. There was something about them that forced them to treat lighter hued students better than the darker hued students. And it's sad that my experience was with my African American or black teachers, but it's true. It's true. Um, and the reason it took third grade, because from kindergarten till second grade, my teachers were pretty neutral. Like, I had this one teacher in kindergarten who did not play. She was like a 5'8", 5'11", dark hued Barbie. I used to look at her and just be like, she is so beautiful. Like, she just looked like a Barbie. She was so beautiful. But she was strict, right? And she was strict with everyone. She did not care. Her purpose was to train you to go to the first grade, and that was it. Like, she was your teacher. She was there to teach you. There was nothing in between. But in the third grade, the relationship started. There was a discrepancy in the relationship, the directions that the darker hued students were being led into versus the lighter hued students. And like I said in previous recordings, I've always been highly spirited. Like, at one point in my youth, I believe my third eye was probably overactive. I've always seen beyond the normal 3D. And therefore, like, when you are able to understand that I'm a spiritual being in a three-dimensional world, and you start paying attention and picking up on, wow, I'm being treated different, but we're all spirits here. So why am I being treated different? It wasn't until the seventh grade that I really caught on to the narrative of life in America. In the sixth grade, it was the typical drilling slavery into your consciousness. It's like your people were slaves. This is all you are. And it's like in the sixth grade when you would ask questions regarding like what was the history prior to America, you were never given an answer. It was always like slavery, slavery, slavery. That's what your people are. Deal with it. Move on. Seventh grade, there was this girl that was in a part of my graduating class. Very beautiful girl. She looked kind of American Indian, except she was like super mahogany, dark chocolate tone. And I remember one time I was passing by, and it was an adult that said this to her though. She had like this silky, curly, beautiful, dark black hair with her dark, beautiful skin. And she was beautiful. Like her face was beautiful. Like she had a very beautiful feminine face. But what the adult said to her, like it wasn't said to me, but it hit me like, whoa, the people here are cruel. Because mind you, I was still adjusting because at home I had a different cultural upbringing than the relationship at school. So I was still adjusting to this is how women who look like you, girls who look like you are treated here. I'm still adjusting till now. Like I'm still adjusting. So the adult said to her while touching her hair, "You're so pretty. I mean, not you're so pretty. You're so lucky to have this kind of hair." And that was the compliment. And I was just like, but her face, her skin, wow, she's so pretty. Like outside of her, she could be bald and she would still be beautiful. Like, and she just like, I guess the girl was so used to it. She smiled. She did the typical no teeth smile, and she walked away. And I was just like, oh my god, life in America is so hard, needlessly hard, recklessly hard when you're of the darker hue. Now, today, as a 30 something year old, I understand that this has been the narrative of this country since its creation. I understand how many women have died trying to change this narrative. I understand how many lives have been lost, sacrificed, destroyed, trying to change this narrative. But I think what has pushed me to open my mouth and say something is the fact that it's 2019. In the blink of an eye, it's going to be 2020. I remember since I was a child, we've been waiting on 2020, and it's coming tomorrow. And we're still dealing with 450-year-old negative, derogatory narratives toward a one group of women. So it's just like, how advanced are we? Because the human to human relationship, no artificial intelligence can fix that. No extraterrestrial can fix that. No highly spiritual enlightenment can fix that. That's a 3D situation. That's a third chakra, second chakra, base chakra, heart chakra situation. So when you are a chocolate belle, which is what I call women who look like me, we're chocolate belles, right? And you're walking around the world, well, America, knowing that like I encompass all that is powerful, I encompass all that is feminine, I encompass the balance between my divine masculine and feminine energy. I meditate, I do yoga, I run, I do all these things to build my body to ensure that my spirit is supported by my vessel. And it's so sad that it just takes one look, one word, one phrase to really have you questioning the relationship of humanity. Not hopefully not yourself. Because that's one thing I always tell myself. This has nothing to do with you. You are born into this relationship that human beings are sharing with one another. You were brought to this country as a child by your parents for a higher opportunity, but this country was already in its existence. Like it didn't happen overnight. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. So what I would like to do, if I can do it in the next 5 minutes, is to break down an understanding. Because I listen to debates, speeches, conversations, but it doesn't matter who the chocolate belle is, she finds it hard to express what it's like within this body. And I'm going to try my best to do it right now. So, as a dark skinned woman, without society punching us down to make us feel low, typically, regardless if we're rich or poor, we wake up knowing that we're equal to everything and everyone around us. We do not wake up with the bluest eyes ever syndrome. We do not wake up wishing we had long, straight hair. We do not wake up wishing our round noses were more pointy. We do not wake up running to the bathroom to bleach our skin. This is not the first thought that is on our minds. The first thought that is on our minds is, what am I going to do with my day today? What am I giving the kids for breakfast if you're a mother? Oh my God, I didn't study for this test if you're a student. Oh my God, I hope Kevin's in my class today if you're a high school kid with a crush on Kevin. We don't wake up with these derogatory thoughts on our mind. We wake up like, woo, black girl magic before there was a black girl magic, and we go on with our day. It is not until we open our front door and we are faced with society. And the one thing that society does is it sees a beautiful dark-hued woman. It first whistle blows at you to grab your attention and begin the process of breaking you down. And when the whistle blowing does not work, society is infected by a virus that uses our own people to destroy us. And when that does not work, society has a virus that has mutated now that uses the lighter hued black people to then come and tell you how beautiful you are, how this you are, how praise you, in other words, right? Now, if you've gotten infected by the first layer, you're then going to internalize what this lighter hued person is saying to you, regardless if it affects you or not. And you're going to look at other black people that are of similar hues of you and ask, why do they hate each other so much? Why can't we compliment each other? Blah, 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 blah. Not putting spirituality with three-dimensional societal problems here. Not putting the two together to see the bigger picture. Consciousness is infected by something. The process has worked where we made your own your enemy, and we're making you have camaraderie with someone who does not look like you. So then the third layer of the infection is for a white or a Spanish person to then come in and infiltrate your mind and your emotions. And now your output is based on whatever triggers you have. That is what we face in society. You could be at the market shopping, minding your own business. And these people, they go out of their way. I swear, I used to think maybe dark-skinned women are like the sun during the daytime. We don't want the attention, but my God, the light is so bright. It's something. But I can guarantee you, and I know like as a black tone, dark tone woman, when you're having these social conversations and you're trying to be politically correct, there are certain things you want to say that you just don't say. You try to use all your textbook vocabulary, but in all honesty, the most simplest way to say it so that the highly spiritual and the mundane or the super religious or whoever can understand, there's not a single day, unless it's been put in that poor child's mind, that poor young lady's mind, that poor woman's mind. There's not a single day that a dark skinned woman wakes up wishing she looked anything but herself. Most of the dialogue that's being had is based on the infection of society. It's based on the fact that if you go 450 years back, good old master during the slavery period had a high attraction for not the mulatto girl, not his white wife, but for the chocolate drop, for the chocolate woman on the plantation. And that created a jealousy. That created the beginning of the infection. And 450 years later, it carries forward in a whistleblowing manner. Even if you're a strong, dark-skinned woman and you're not affected by this, something in society keeps jabbing at you so you can react. And when you don't react, something in society looks for other ways to make you react, but the initial point is the way you look. Something has to be done. Something has to be done. And it's greater than just, I'm going to meditate this away. I'm going to yoga this away. I'm going to burn incense and candles to make it go away, because it's not within us. It's within society. It's the outsider looking through the window that's making judgments. It's not the person on the inside of the house. My house is fine. It's perfect. You're passing through the neighborhood and you look at my house and you're judging my home. But my home is perfect. My gardens are flourishing. My home is painted. My roof just got an update. I actually have solar panels up there. So why am I being judged for whatever reason? I just wanted to touch on this because when it comes to every other subject, it's so easy to run to, we're all one, we're spiritually enlightened, we come from one creator and all that good fluffy stuff. But the truth behind the fact is, it doesn't matter how spiritually enlightened you are, there comes a point where you're just like, when are they gonna stop this? Like, when is this gonna be like embarrassing? When is this gonna be like a social abnorm? You know, like, it's funny, but just a thought, just an idea. I just wanted to leave this message because I feel like as dark-skinned women, like, we have to prove our point too much that we're equal. We have to prove it too much, and it's sad. It's sad that we have to prove ourselves beyond. You understand? There's so many stigmas against us. The ghetto girl, the hood girl, the poor girl, the baby mama, and all that nonsense. When not every last one of us has fallen. And all those characteristics are individuals who have fallen victim to society's game. Not everyone has fallen victim to society's game. It's a sick game that society plays with beautiful chocolate women. It's a stupid game. I've never once looked at anyone outside of me and go, ooh, I wish I looked like that. And this is someone who was raised around majority mulatto girls, majority, what do you call those girls? The mixed girls with the curly hair. Never in my life did I ever look at other black women and go, ooh, I wish I looked like that. I was so proud of who I was. And then furthermore, this is what creates the stigma for me. American culture and American society. Where I come from, the chocolate skin tone is celebrated. Everywhere I've ever gone around my own men and women, has a child, has a teen, has a young woman, even now, my men, where the country I come from, they celebrate, they love it. They can't get enough of your chocolate tone. And now you're in a nation that hates your chocolate tone, that does everything within its subconscious, collective subconscious, to destroy your personal self identity. That is disgusting. And it's appalling. And it's a challenge to have to deal with when you walk past a mother who has a beautiful little chocolate daughter and you're like, you're so beautiful. And the mother looks at you in shock, like, and I'm like, what? She is gorgeous. It gives you a bigger picture of what's really going on. So as we grow, as we start diving deeper into our spiritual enlightenment, I think this subject, regardless of your race, if you're listening to me, regardless if you have friends who look how I described, it's still a narrative to start having and changing. Because I think the more of us that talk about this, the more of an understanding we can feed into the collective subconscious to change that ongoing narrative that is shared by everyone in America. And I'm not even covering men, because that's a whole different subject on its own. I'm just covering the women. The physical appearance of women has its attack. So if I got loud, I'm sorry. Once again, I was talking about something I'm passionate about. If I got loud, that cat is coming back up to say I'm sorry and please forgive me. But try that. Try as you are in your meditation circles, having drinks with your friends, and as you're with the group that you're comfortable with to have all types of conversations with, try talking about that. And it doesn't matter your race, because I know when I say chocolate hued girls in corporate America, which is what I left behind, in Hollywood, chocolate tone does not necessarily mean black, because Indian women have chocolate tones, Muslim women have chocolate tones, South American women have chocolate tones. So it's not necessarily a black thing. You understand? It's just the fact that chocolate tone is looked down on. And I swear to you, being a chocolate tone woman who went through the what do you call that? The brainwashing of buying into the fact that lighter tone women were more beautiful than me and all that nonsense that I never bought into. I never woke up one day wishing I looked like so and so that was a different appearance than me. I woke up every day being myself and loving who I am. It's just sickening that you have to witness how other human beings look at you, judging you, making decisions regarding yourself, your future, your life, your income potential, your career, direction that your life will take in, without even knowing who you are, what you've been through, what you believe in, what type of education you have, what your religious background is, how highly spirited you are. Just disregard to your life experience as a whole, just because your skin is chocolate. That is ridiculous. In the same world and country that loves to eat chocolate. I mean, the craziness behind this is, I'll start ranting, and I don't want to do that. So, all the chocolate bells that run across my recording, give another chocolate bell a hug if you see them. Give them love. Give them a hug. They need it. Smile at each other. Love each other. When you see those little girls, always tell them how beautiful they are, because they truly are. They're so beautiful. Love one another. Appreciate one another. Compliment one another. Celebrate one another. Because from what I've seen in every society, we are the backbone of every society. It doesn't matter what continent you cross on this planet, we are the backbone of that social group. We are the backbone of that civilization. We are the backbone of that society. And there's no way that you can mistreat, abuse, neglect, abandon the well being of the backbone of your civilization. Your civilization will always fall. It will always fall. It will always be destroyed. So I don't want to rant, but I thank you guys for listening. Leave comments, share the recording, whatever it is that we can do to just continue the Black Girl Magic movement, because the Black Girl Magic movement has been around for a very long time. It was just very hard for darker hued women to just speak up for themselves and say, I am a queen, I am a goddess, I'm the reason for your existence. And I know some people might look at it as if, oh, now they're being cocky, but it's not. It's a confidence that was silenced that now has the opportunity to speak up for itself. So love each other, hug each other, support each other, celebrate each other, compliment each other, and appreciate each other. I'll talk to you guys soon.